there's a lot of difference between the
Right.
Chapter 70 and the
See,
unrestricted.
they're all excited about our next meeting and working on the budget, so.
Yes.
We're just asking preliminary questions.
It's
a
We're
Friday
so
evening.
excited.
Monday morning.
Okay, thanks, Carl.
That's very helpful.
Thank you.
Yes, Deanna.
It's hard to hear because of the.
Oh.
What'd you say?
Oh, go ahead.
Carl, did you say that you're gonna present the budget to the school committee on February 4th?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's a preliminary
Preliminary budget.
budget, right?
You know, and I should
At a
also.
regular meeting like this, right?
Yes, and if, I should also say, we've been working hard on improving the town of Reading, the school department's website on the budget. So if you go there now, you'll see some information that's new, and we're gonna make an effort to keep it up on a very timely basis. And we will post the detailed preliminary budget on the 15th. So we'll be doing that throughout the budget season.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have request. This is the annual request we have for the baseball team to travel overnight to a tournament on Cape Cod, South Yarmouth. It says they've been doing this for 25 years, and it's a great way for them to get the season started. I don't think we've ever had any problems with this trip. It's been a very
Not
positive.
that we can talk about, no.
Right.
No, no.
It's always been a very positive trip, and as I said, a good way to get the season off. So, unless anybody has any questions.
I'm happy to make
Take
a
a
motion
motion.
to approve the Ebbett Memorial Invitational trip.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Ericetti, second by Ms. Venezia. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We're gonna skip over the superintendent's entry plan. We'll let that be the feature event tonight. We'll go over everything else before we get to that. Carl, capital improvement project update.
Thank you. The school committee knows that there are 2 town meetings a year, and traditionally there are 2 opportunities to request large capital. The school committee has been taking a conservative position on this issue in recent years, knowing that there's going to be a very large capital request made in the near future. But this notation in the packet is to let you know that the capital process is beginning, even though the large capital won't be considered until June town meeting. The town bylaws still have a calendar in place that assumes that large capital is reviewed in April. So it means that we still have a kind of, we have to follow the former calendar. The town administrator is looking for a formal large capital request from the school committee, and he hasn't given us an exact date, but we suspect it will be early March, Kathy?
Yes.
So I think this is, and I know that the superintendent has asked the town administrator to have a placeholder on the warrant so that we can consider large capital. So we're starting the process now internally. We're talking to the principals, the department heads, and we will bring a formal presentation, a recommendation to the school committee in the weeks to come. But I think we're putting it on here now to see if you have any initial thoughts.
I just think obviously a lot of the potentially large projects for the high school and middle school are gonna be put back burner for another year until we see what happens with this process this year. So I guess anything outside of that we should consider. Although I would think that our guideline should be something that urgently needs to be done versus something that we'd like to do, which I think we've been following for the past 3 or 4 years anyway.
Yes.
If not longer. So I think if we keep following the same procedures, I would keep the things for the high school and the middle school, and in fact, I think when we get that list, I'd like us to highlight them as a committee, just again to point out the 10 to 15 to 20 million, whatever that number is, that all of those things could add up to if we had to do all those repairs without getting a new building. But I think they'll all go on the back burner for another year.
Did we say last
Any comments?
week in February?
Is that when he wants it? Okay.
Mel, I just wanted to revisit, if I could,
Okay.
when you would like the presentation of the revised large cap plan
Well, I guess
brought to the school committee?
The question I have, I'm not sure when they have to be into town to the town administrator. We don't have a date, do we?
I don't think we'll know Monday morning. We'll ask
Okay.
him Monday morning.
So yeah, I think once we have finance planning team Monday morning, we'll have a better idea. But I wouldn't think they'd need them much sooner than, what, you said March, maybe late March or mid to late March, since the meeting's in.
Best guess at this point.
Right.
Meeting's in June, so maybe early March, late February, we can get those. And then vote on them. I had one other thing I had on here, which is, but I think I'm gonna put it off to not take a vote on it tonight. I was gonna recommend that we join the Suburban Coalition, which is a group that Dorothy Presser she's the chairwoman for the Linfield School Committee. She's also the chair of the Suburban Coalition. And it's really, it's the only group where you've got both school committee members and selectmen sit on this group, and they do a lot of good things. They lobby for things that would help both school committees and selectmen in terms of helping towns financially. And they also put a lot of good information out. The only problem is I wasn't able to get from her how much it costs to join the organization.
$250.
Is it
We're
$250?
We're members.
We already joined?
Right, you paid for it last year.
Oh, I thought we joined the other, the North Shore thing.
Yeah, we're members of that as well.
So we are all set with this.
Right.
Then never mind. That's taken care of. Thank you, Cliff. The other thing I had, and this isn't on the agenda, I received an email yesterday from Selectman Mike Prisco. If you remember back when they were talking about moving the town meeting permanently to June, they also had a number of other items that they were thinking of changing in the charter. And at that time, the selectmen agreed to put all of those on hold. Well, they're going to have a town charter review subcommittee, and we need to have a representative from the school committee. So I wanted to throw that open to see if anybody was interested in doing that.
I'll do it,
You want to do it?
yeah. As long as I don't have to meet during the day,
I would guess that they'll meet at night.
good.
I
Then
guess
I'll
they'll
do
meet at
it.
night. So do we need to take a motion to appoint? I don't think we,
I don't believe so.
It's
This is a subcommittee.
Yeah, the subcommittee.
Unless it's, yeah,
No.
no.
okay. Everybody okay with that? I'm with that.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Do you also would want me to participate on this as well? I received the email as well.
I would like to have either you or Carl participate in this because they say that we'll mainly be dealing with things that relate to the school department, but there probably will be things that we will need one of your expertises on.
Mhm.
So, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next. Bills and payroll.
They're on the way.
They're on the way.
On
the way from where?
On the way from where?
As soon as I go get them.
I was looking around.
What's happening tonight, Carl?
I don't know.
Well, you know, crazy. I was running around, the doors were all locked, if you know.
Oh, I
as you
saw
came
that,
in. So I
yeah.
was running around the building and did you have trouble getting in?
Get in.
So.
But that was intentional, man. Really else.
It's the first time ever.
Okay, so we'll get those minutes. I don't think we have any.
No,
There's no budget update, correct, Carl?
That's correct.
Staffing?
not at this time, next time.
Bids and donations?
None,
Nothing.
for the first time in a while.
Subcommittee reports? Do we have any reports?
Do not have any.
All canceled.
We do have
They've been rescheduled due to snow.
right, we do have an athletic subcommittee meeting tomorrow afternoon.
Right. An evaluation was rescheduled as well to Wednesday night. We'll see how that goes. Policy Subcommittee scheduled for February 9th. That's rescheduled.
Right.
And then communication will schedule tonight. If we
Right.
could schedule a meeting before we leave, that would be great.
Okay.
Lean on that, Cliff.
No, it's me and
It's
Cliff.
and you. Okay.
Administrator report, anything?
Yes, in your packet are copies of the most recent high school newsletter. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to ask you, these are all posted, all the newsletters for the schools are posted
Yeah,
online.
I don't think we need to print these
So,
out.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So I will let the principals know.
I like reading it.
Other than Jerry, maybe you
I
can.
like reading it. No, that's all right.
They're online, so your wife can show you how to use the computer. Anything else?
Yes, included in your packet is a copy of the recently updated memorandum of understanding between the
saw
North
that.
Reading Public Schools and the North Reading Police Department. This was originally signed in August, but in November, there was another provision added that reflected the new bullying legislation. So the district attorney asked that we all re-sign or sign a new memorandum of understanding with that new language included in this MOU. So that's what you have in front of you.
This is just a standard MOU that all school districts have with their police departments and with the district attorney?
Yes, this district attorney requires or requests that we all sign this memorandum of understanding, so we do review it. The additional information is added on page 4. It says, any incident of bullying or cyberbullying as defined by general laws where the school believes that the incident may have involved criminal conduct or involves any other reportable acts as outlined in A through N. So that's the only thing that was changed on the MOU.
And just for public information, this is basically an agreement that says when we're to notify the police department of something, when the police department gets involved, when they need to notify us of something. That's basically the gist of the agreement.
Correct, thank you. I do have one more item underneath the administrative report. It's not in your packet. Recently, Patrick Daly, the Director of Academic Services, and I met with the Associate Dean for Graduate Education out of Endicott College. His name is Dr. Mal Patterson. We also met with an admissions recruiter. Her name is Marge Silvestri. And we talked about forming a partnership with a higher ed institution to become a site where we would offer degree programs here for our teachers and for teachers in surrounding districts. So we're very excited to partner with Endicott College. I'm bringing this to you as a point of information to let you know that we will be offering Masters of Education programs here in North Reading. So we're very excited about that, bringing professional development to our teachers.
That'll be at the high school?
Well, we're not sure which school it will
Okay.
be yet. What we're going to do next, unless you have an objection to us partnering with Endicott College, is Endicott will then organize an opportunity for surrounding district superintendents to come together with me on site here. Endicott will pay for everything, and we'll have an information luncheon to talk about this partnership and the kinds of master's programs that we can offer to our teachers to get them to see if they're interested in being a member of this
Sounds good.
particular partnership. So we're very excited. It's another piece of the puzzle in making sure that we're providing all kinds of professional development to our teachers.
One thing I would ask is there anything we can do in terms of partnering with an institution like Endicott in terms of for students? Are there any kinds of programs that we might be able to develop where, you know, some majors that they have there where maybe we, so I would like to, if we're going to do this, explore other opportunities to get students some maybe early exposure to higher education if we
That's
could.
called dual enrollment.
Yep.
And typically, that has, that kind of a partnership is made with a community college, where the community college credits are transferable to a state college.
Right.
Typically, they're not transferable to a private college. But it's a way for students to get a jump start for very little money on their college education while still in high school. And I do know of school districts that have done this. Amesbury, for one, has created a wonderful dual enrollment program with Northern Essex Community College.
We don't do that, correct?
No, we do not.
I think it's something worth looking into. I don't know if the rest of the committee, I mean, I think any opportunities we can give our students who want to pursue that extra, you know, extra education is a good opportunity. So if that's something you could look into, that'd be
I will do that.
great.
What we do have building user fees, and part of developing partnerships with institutions of higher ed is that we don't necessarily charge them to offer these courses in our buildings. So I wanted to let you know that before we enter into a contract with them. We do receive a benefit, though, by having teachers participate. They expect a minimum of 10 students to be enrolled in order to run a course. And for certain masters, for every student that enrolls up to 10 students, the North Reading School District will receive $150 per student from Endicott. And this is another way that we can subsidize professional development for our teachers by raising funds through a professional development opportunity. And there's other certain, and if we exceed the 10 student enrollment, they will then pay the district $200 per student.
How do you
That's
set
good.
the tuition for that?
Endicott College sets all the tuitions. It is the Endicott College tuition. They run all the admissions. They take care of all the paperwork. We do not manage this
This
at
is more or
all.
less a venue that.
This is a venue, and it's something on site for our teachers to
That's a good
access
deal, though, in
easily.
terms of getting funds for having our teachers, pursue further degrees. I think it's a good deal.
Mhm.
Do you think that we should look